You don't need to hold on any longer, folks, because we are back on the Gazette Radio Hour with Doug and John. It's a radio digest version of the Santa Clarita Gazette on your hometown station, AM-1220 KHTS. Our special guest is one of the founding fathers of Santa Clarita, Mr. Carl Boyer.
Hey, here's a question for you. Are there other founding fathers?
Oh, yeah. Unfortunately, some of them are no longer with us.
Okay.
But, I mean, Buck McKeon's out in Washington, D.C. as a lobbyist, and John Haight's doing well down in San Diego County.
That's right. I forgot about that. So we were talking off the air about some of the changes you've seen. I mean, and coming up here in 1960, whenever, a long time ago, we won't get into exactly why I know it's a long time ago, the changes you've seen must have been just outstanding and astonishing, quite honestly. The biggest one surprised me. We were talking off the air. You told me that it was the median strips in the parks.
Yeah, the efforts at beautification, I think, have really taken hold. All the big trees along the roads and things of that sort, and I feel really good about that. And one of the things that we did, I had been writing letters to the state since late 1960s. About Tosley Canyon and that whole area over there. Right. And after we became a city, we had the muscle to convince the state that ought to happen.
That's huge. What's the worst thing that you've seen happen since you started the city, since the city was started?
I think, I kind of hate to say this, but I think maybe it's the unresponsiveness of the city council to some of the public concerns. The thing that bothers me the most is that we are now a really mature area living in the largest county in the world, 10 million people. It's larger than 60% of the countries of the world. And they're making no effort whatsoever to bring us local county government.
No, that is a good point. It seems like we're kind of off by ourselves.
Yes.
And is this something that you think the city council could change?
Oh, absolutely. Mike Antonovich is not opposed to an effort to break off the North County. I don't want to be part of a county that includes Palmdale and Lancaster, because that would be further away than Los Angeles. But I think if we could break it off and have two counties out here, it would make very good sense.
Or even make it one county with different divisions somehow.
Well, I think if we have Kenyon County and Antelope County, that would work very well.
Would you have to go through the same process you did in the 70s to achieve that?
Yes, but I think we would have better ability to anticipate the opposition and convince the people in Los Angeles that they'd really be better off if we weren't part of them, and they wouldn't have the huge communications and sheriff's responsibilities.
That's one that always stumps me.
So how does one get started to start that process?
To do it the way we did it, going through a study and doing the petition process and so forth would be virtually impossible. It was done by private citizens. Right. But to have the city hire or go to the state and ask for legislation, which was passed years ago when George Renner was in the state legislature, allowing three cities to get together and pay for a commission to develop a plan and study the feasibility, and then to toss it open to the people and say, okay, do you want to petition for this? This is what we're looking at.
Right.
I think that would work. And in spite of the fact that what I've been told by one councilman in particular, that they have too much on their plate, I don't see it would take any more than a vote to ask the state for legislation to allow us to pay for a commission.
Yeah, it seems like one of those things, when you think about it, LA is so large. And pointing out some of the problems, you're absolutely right. The sheriff is a great example.
Yeah.
Just the response time and the responsibility from Palmdale down to San Pedro.
I've got nothing bad to say about the sheriff's department.
Yeah.
They do a great job, but it's a very expensive proposition
Exactly.
when you have people coming back and forth between L.A. and Santa Clarita and Palmdale and Lancaster
Oh yeah,
all the time.
it's they do a remarkable job.
Yeah.
But the expense, it's got to be. I mean, it's money that could be used for something else.
Yeah.
And that's the biggest problem. That's an interesting proposition. What do you think, Doug?
When you started the city, did you consider having your own police department or fire department, or did you?
Yes, we did. I really don't see any point in doing it now because we would have two different jurisdictions. We would have inside the city limits and outside the city limits. There could be confusion about what happens. As far as the fire department, if we formed a new county, the fire department would continue as it is because that's a separate special district.
Right. Interesting. So that's okay. That's a big one. What else have you seen out here that you go, I wish it was back like it was when I started, or I wish I would have done something differently when you started? Because to me, the big one is
There
growth.
were fewer traffic lights.
Yeah, I was gonna say traffic and growth.
My attempts to drive around this valley are solely dictated by how many traffic lights if I go this way and how many traffic lights if I go this way. And if I do a zippity-doo-dah across Lyons Avenue and get on the freeway, how many can I avoid there?
Yeah. Well, is that just a factor of the growth out here? I mean, it's
No, it's part of it's an inattention to the traffic lights. They've fallen out of sync. Some of them
Yes.
are 117 seconds long.
Yes.
Yeah, it seems that way.
Very
Absolutely right.
frustrating.
And it's my fault. I should complain, and then they'd probably do something about it. But
You
I
are a
haven't
founding
complained.
father. Don't you have like a free pass or something? Yeah, you don't have a transponder in your car that turns all the lights green for you? You should get him one. What is wrong with the city council?
Mr. Boyer, do you watch the city council meetings on the cable?
No.
Interesting.
All right.
No, part of it's because I don't want to get upset, and part of it's because I think it's time for them to, deal with the problems on their own and not have my input constantly.
All right. Well, unfortunately, we're out of time, but we really appreciate you coming in. We've been talking to
Absolutely.
Mr. Carl Boyer, one of the founding fathers. We're just scratching the surface. Will you come back?
Oh, sure.
Awesome.
Okay,
All
great.
right.
All right.
All right, you're listening to the Gazette Radio Hour with Doug and John on AM-1220 KHTS, Santa Clarita's hometown station. We'll be right back.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Gazette Radio Hour on your hometown station, AM-1220 KHTS. I'm Doug, along with John. Did I say the name of the show yet?
Yeah, the Gazette Radio Hour with Doug and
yeah,
John.
okay.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you said that. Hey, Doug, we got breaking news.
I love breaking news.
We have breaking news. We have Congressman Steve Knight on the line. Congressman Knight, you're there, I hope.
Yes, sir.
Awesome. You know something? I'm going to let you break the news. How's that sound?
Okay, I can do that.
Yeah, I figured you might be able to.
Are we ready?
Hey, go for it.
Okay, so we got a call about 2 hours ago from the BLM, Bureau of Land Management, and they said that they are officially canceling the contracts for CMEX Mine, which means there won't be any mining in the Soledad area.
That's
Outstanding.
Huge. That's like 15 years worth of work, right?
About 20. So
Wow.
yeah, it's been the community has stayed very informed. They've stayed very engaged in it, and I got to give so much credit to Mike Murphy over at the city and Ken Striplin and City Council. They have been tireless on this issue. So still got some hurdles to go through or go over, but this is the 10-foot hurdle. This is the big one.
That's huge because that would have created 24-hour or 24/7 trucks on the 14, huge dust issues.
Yeah, a huge amount of trucks. They were estimating about 400 trucks on the road, and that would not just be a Santa Clarita issue. That would be a Santa Clarita Antelope Valley issue, and all the way down because traffic doesn't just get caught and then release.
Right.
It does that accordion effect, and so it would hurt traffic all the way down. And there's just many issues of why the CMEX mine shouldn't be there. And like I said, this was a united effort. I'm very thankful that I could be a part of this, and it's a happy day. Happy day.
Congressman, is there one thing that broke the camel's back, if you will, in regard to this?
I think there was a little bit of a change in the way we were trying to fight this. Went about it through the BLM, and I think for years everybody thought, legislation, And, with Mike Murphy and then getting the senators involved with Boxer and Feinstein, and the city council just stayed engaged with this, we kind of thought that the contracting, the BLM, would be the best way to go about this. So we've been pretty diligent on this. A lot of letter writing, a lot of phone calls with the BLM. I had phone calls with senators, and my staff and the city of Santa Clarita staff stayed engaged with the BLM and everyone. And it was just a solid effort to try and fix this thing without having to get 535 people to agree on it.
Yeah, exactly.
Good move.
So they doing a land swap? Is that what? Because that was one of the answers that I had heard at one point in time.
Yeah, this is the, like I said, this is the 10-foot hurdle that you got to stop the mining first, and then there are some things that CMEX can do. There is a process that they can go about. It's a long, lengthy process. We're going to keep that. We're going to keep a good eye on that. We're going to watch and see what they do and how they respond and all of that. But the BLM, over the last 4 or 5 months, when they made the reversal, when they did the 180-degree turn, it was really our window of opportunity to jump in there. And that's when we started a letter writing campaign. We started really engaging the BLM on a consistent basis to tell them, this is the way, and this is what the community is engaged in. So, but I give so much credit to the city of Santa Clarita, and I'll bring up his name 100 times, but Mike Murphy has really been the guru on this, and we're proud to be part of the team. I know this is the big effort that I said. This is our number one priority. This is, it's just a happy day.
It is.
All right. Well, congratulations. And we want to pat ourselves, or not so much ourselves, but KHTS was the first media outlet here in Santa Clarita to break the news, folks. So you can go on hometownstation.com and read more about this. Congressman, I want to change the subject just a little bit. When do you head back to Washington?
So we go back on September 8th. We have recess in August. I don't know if you can call it recess because I think I'm more busy when I'm in the district running around. But we go back on September 8th, and of course the big issue right off the bat will be the Iran nuclear deal, and then we're going to talk about the budget and continuing resolutions, and then there'll be the debt ceiling, and in that time the Pope's coming, so it'll be a busy month.
What can I ask you on the debt ceiling? What is there going to be? I mean, how do I say this?
Maybe the Pope should come first. I'm just saying.
Are we gonna? Is our side? Is your side? I don't know whose side it is. It's the Republicans. I'll just say it. Are we gonna give in? Are we gonna stick to our guns?
I hope not. I mean, there's two schools of thought here, and I got to say both sides so that I don't, get yelled at for not saying everybody's side here. But the debt ceiling is basically an amount of money that has kind of been spent. And some people that will vote to raise the debt ceiling will say, hey, that's already been spent, and if we don't raise the debt ceiling, then there's going to be consequences and there's going to be problems. My situation is, if you're in a hole, at some point you got to take the shovel away and you got to say, hey, we got to fix this. And maybe it will be a vote that won't go through. Probably will. I think a lot of people are assigned to are going to vote for the debt ceiling raising, but in my opinion, at some point you got to say enough is enough.
Right.
And I think I told you guys this before, but our debt right now, if a dollar was a second, is 550,000 years ago.
That's just
It's depressing.
That's something you can't even get your mind around.
So I'm of the mindset. Tell me if I'm wrong. That you let the government shut down. To me, when bad things happen, that can be a great motivator to really get change going through.
Yeah, I'm not going to say that shutting the government down is the best thing, but in certain circumstances, there can be some good things that can come out of it. But you have to have a plan. I mean, just saying, hey, we're going to shut down the government. Well,
no.
You got to have some plan, some way of making it better. And
yeah. Well, to borrow a phrase from the president, you got to draw that line in the sand.
That's right.
And actually mean it this time.
All right.
Sorry, I didn't say that.
Unfortunately, Congressman, we're out of time, but we really appreciate you coming on to break this new story. If you're just joining
Thanks
us,
for
folks,
having me on.
CEMEX Mine is done.
I appreciate it, and I appreciate everything you do.
Thanks,
Talk to you
Congressman. Congressman Steve Knight. Congratulations. That's awesome. CEMEX is dead.
Cool.
At least for quite some time until somebody else does something really dumb. We won't get to that. All right, you listen to Gazette Radio Hour with Doug and John on AM-1220. If you want more information on the CEMEX mine, you can go to KHTS.com.
Hometown Station.
My hometown station. Hometownstation.com. Wow.
Yeah, just hometown
I don't type it, guys. I don't type it in. It's there. It's like it's an icon on my. Click.
Peter, what's it called?
Hometownstation.com.
Got
You can
it.
read all about the CEMEX mine and how it's done. Congratulations. Everybody happy now? Okay. All right. You listen to Gazette Radio with Doug and John on AM-1220 KHTS, Santa Cruz Hometown Station. We'll be right back.